It's a horror movie, as you could probably tell. It's definitely not a dramedy. It's not a romantic comedy about people falling in love with evil animatronic robots. And Nicolas Cage, we find out pretty quickly, he ain't scared of no animatronic robots. And you know what he's gonna do? Kick some animatronic ass. This is Blockbuster Review, where I play a single game of Tetris Marathon, and I try to review a film before 150 lines or the blocks reach the top. And spoilers are at line 50, and here we go. A couple of weeks ago, I watched a movie called Willy's Wonderland, starring the incomparable Nicolas Cage, where he plays a man who is tasked with cleaning up a themed restaurant, much like Chuck E. Cheese, with what are those called? Animatronic characters that sing and dance in a band while kids would eat pizza and the parents would drink. You know, one of those places. They were very popular in the 90s. I went to a couple of them and had really awesome cardboard pizza and had a good time. Anyway, you know how the story goes. He goes to clean it. Turns out it's actually a part of a satanic ritual. Well, that part's a spoiler, kind of? I mean, not really. It's, the characters come alive in the middle of the night and they kill someone, and it happens all the time. The guys who live in this town run a game where they pop the tires of someone on the road, then tell them they'll fix the car for free if they just clean up this place, and then the, the person who gets victimized dies. It's a horror movie, as you could probably tell. It's definitely not a dramedy. It's not a romantic comedy about people falling in love with evil animatronic robots. And Nicolas Cage, we find out pretty quickly, he ain't scared of no animatronic robots. And you know what he's gonna do? Kick some animatronic ass. So Nicolas Cage just starts, you know... Oh, am I gonna get a T-spin right here? Oh, buddy. T-spin. I've wanted to do those for so long. Completely distracted. And they're not that hard. Why haven't I been doing them all the time? Like the first... I mean, the flaw of this movie, which we're not at spoilers yet, so I won't get to that. He starts taking care of the place. He's working hard. You know, he's a good hard worker. That's another funny part of the movie to me. Like, Nicolas Cage's character works really fucking hard, and he's clean. He's gonna get that place fucking clean. Nick Cage was one of the lifeless robots. I'm getting to it. I want to wait till spoiler territory to describe his character more. But basically, in the first couple minutes, he fights one of these robots and just straight kills it. Throughout the film, he has an alarm on his phone, which then means he has to drink this mysterious canned drink that I don't know if it's supposed to be an energy drink or a soda or what it is. But he drinks this liquid and then he just gets back to work, and he also takes his breaks while cleaning up this place, plays some pinball, drinks his weird energy drink, then goes back to cleaning. And he's gonna clean up this motherfucking place. He's gonna do it. And no homicidal robots are gonna get in his way. And now we're in spoiler territory. So it turns out that while he's doing that, a couple of kids planned that night to burn down Willy's, because it's a local legend that the animatronics are actually the old owners and operators of Willy's Wonderland. That are actually a bunch of serial killers that would trap whole families into this restaurant and murder them. And then they communed with evil demon spirits to transfer their life essence into these animatronic robots so that they could live forever, and as long as they feed on the blood of the innocent. Real good writing. And what I love about it, it has nothing to do with Nick Cage. Nick Cage is just a dude who was driving through town and happened to get involved in this story and just happens to kick ass. And I'm way too close to the ending without getting into the important bits. Spoiler alert, Nicolas Cage doesn't say anything in the movie. He is a silent protagonist, which is both rad and weird and awesome. Because there are moments when he should talk to these characters, because there's this ragtag group of terrible teenage actors who are there to put a stop to Willy's evil, which the whole town knows about but doesn't do anything about. And the main character, not the main character, but the main girl in this crew is actually the adoptive daughter of the police chief who adopted her after they victimized her parents in Willy's Wonderland. And she hates her adoptive mother, and they have a terrible relationship because of it, and it all makes sense, but who cares, because the acting is trash. The only decent actor is the actress who played Dwight's babysitter in The Office. She's kind of an older woman. We never get to hear that sexy Cage baritone. Nick Cage is silent in the film. And it's kind of awesome, actually, because it makes me wonder, because Nicolas Cage, he's an Oscar winner, as you may know, so he has an Oscar minimum, and I wonder if that changes if he doesn't have speaking lines. Because from what I understand about Hollywood, very little, as you can probably tell by this review, or any of the reviews I do, I'm wondering, does Nicolas Cage get a pay decrease because his character has no lines? And is that how they got Nicolas Cage? Or did they just get Nicolas Cage because he needs to pay off like his island or his dinosaur bones or some bullshit, or his, I think he lost his pyramid in New Orleans. But like, did he take a pay cut because his character doesn't speak? And his character doesn't need to speak because his character just exists to, in this story, to destroy the animatronics, which nobody else in this town could do. Because they just made a deal with them to kill all the people who come by, and Nicolas Cage takes care of it. And by the end of the movie, in a pretty awesome scene, he goes to the guy that worked this deal out with him, who said, "Hey, you make it out tomorrow morning. You come out tomorrow morning, your car will be fixed, and you're ready to go." And he comes out the next morning, covered in blood, murdered a bunch of animatronics, and was just like, yeah. He doesn't say anything. He just grabs his car keys. He grabs the woman that I assumed who was like under the age of 17. Turns out she's 18 because Nicolas Cage just takes her with him. And they ride off into the night. And that was the end of Willy's Wonderland. And, you know, I've gotten through this whole thing without giving you my opinion of the picture, and I'll do it right now. It is not very good. I don't know what I expected out of it. It was just a Five Nights at Freddy's ripoff. I'm already at the end. Holy fuck. I've been talking too much about Nick Cage and all of that other nonsense. It's just a Five Nights at Freddy's ripoff. The most interesting parts about it are Nick Cage's character. He's kind of like Mad Max in the sequels to Mad Max, where like, he's not the main character. Well, he is the main character, but he's not like involved in what's going on with these other characters. He's just driving in, kicking ass, and leaving town. And there's all these mysteries about him that they never talk about. He loves pinball. He has this weird energy drink that he drinks. Oh, no, 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 no. I don't want it to end. Don't want it to end. No, I don't. I want to talk about this movie more. I want to talk about this movie more. But we never find out any of that. We just know that now this town is safe from Willy and the robots. I thought you were gushing there. It's not very good. It's cheap, and I can't talk about it anymore. That's what you get. It's not good. It's cheap. It's a very cheap movie. I should have talked about my opinion more than the stuff surrounding it. My bad. Hopefully I won't do that with the next one.